Welcome back to Ask the Imam Show. Imam Musri, thanks for coming back again.
It's my pleasure.
I want to ask you kind of like about God, like the relevance of God. I mean, you've talked a lot of things to me and shared with me about Islam's point of view and take on a lot of things. But what's the relevance of God nowadays? I mean, in this time frame in this world, I mean, you see a lot of millennials and a lot of people. They're like, well, I mean, I'm getting where I'm getting by myself. How is people like? From what I've seen, either the interest or not believing is vast amount of people who don't. So why the importance of God?
Well, it's very key question, really, and thank you for asking. I know a lot of young people are asking this question: why do I need to go to a church or a place of worship? Why do I need to believe in God in the first place? I'm fine. My life is okay without doing anything.
Right.
Yeah, for perhaps a long time, religion used the fear card to make people attend services and put money. But in Islam, we don't do the fear factor. We emphasize that in order for you to know who you are, you need to know who made you. You know, some people who don't know, for example, their parents, they feel always something is missing. Some part of their personal story is incomplete. And they go on a search to find their biological parents and to reconnect. And for us, it's the biggest question for all human beings is, who made us? Obviously, we didn't make ourselves, and we haven't been here on earth, forever. So we know that we were made at some point. How and who did it and why? These are very ancient questions that philosophers have wrestled with since before the Greeks. The idea is Islam begins by saying, if you want to achieve peace in your life, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand your purpose here on earth. You have to know your maker. And the first verse that was revealed from the Quran, from chapter 96, was learn or read in the name of your Lord who created. And the next verse says, He created the human from clinging cells, referring to the cell, the ovum that clings into the inner wall of the uterus inside the womb of the mother. So God wanted us to learn and to open our minds and understand the universe around us through this prism, through understanding God. So for us, when we take God out of the picture, we can never fully understand ourselves and our purpose in life. Why we were born, why we are alive, why do we die, what happens after death, is there another life or this is it? Why good things happen to us, bad things happen to us? All of these important questions cannot be fully answered until you actually bring God into the picture, understand the biggest part of the story. And I'm sorry to say that most religions today, including many Muslims, their practice is more rituals without thinking, and they don't take the time to think and to answer these important questions that have been answered in our scriptures in the Quran fully and in detail to help us give a meaning for our lives. So we live with complete understanding of who we are, who made us, why we are here, and where we're going next, and the purpose of our lives and why good things and bad things happen to us.
Well, I was listening to you, excuse me, and I was raised Southern Baptist. I don't know if you know about Southern Baptist, and holiness is kind of the cousins. Where they're the ones that pretty much get excited in the church services. And it was instilled in me really strong, really hard. But what I saw and see, and what a lot of people see, it's about money. It is fear factor. It was hell and brimstone. You're going to die. We're all going to go to hell today. That's what I heard every Sunday growing up. And it was definitely scared me to even think about doing one thing wrong, because if I did, I was going, maybe it's a good tactic to a sense for a boy, but is that right? Psychological? I don't know. But that's what we saw, and I saw, and a lot of people like me saw this. But I don't see people caring about the church, not because of the fear factor, but it's all about money. One thing I respected, I didn't see you driving a Rolls Royce. All the Christian preachers are driving Rolls Royce Bentleys. It's like he's living fat off the hog, and he's a God-fearing person, and God allowed that. And yet there's people that are starving who have, so to speak, a pot to piss in, as they say. And I don't see where that's right. If you're saying trying to.
That's where religions have been hijacked. When faith leaders move from their responsibility of guiding and teaching and living as a role model to making it as a profession, as a business, to make money and to empty the pockets of their congregation to their own benefit, that's where religion goes off the rails. But if you really study about what Jesus was about, what Muhammad was about, you find that Jesus did not try to enrich himself off the people. And Muhammad spent all his money, he was wealthy in the beginning, to help lift up the poor, the needy, the women, free the slaves, to make a change in the society around him. So religion, when it is practiced right, for the right purpose, it is supposed to help people and give a hand to those who need help, rather than religion becomes an institution that needs constant funding, and therefore everybody has to keep paying and paying and paying, and it becomes just a money-making machine for the church organization or for the pastors, and at the expense of often the poor and the elderly who feel I need the church, because they use that fear factor for it. In Islam, it is different, because we say you need God, and this is between you and God. It's not you need us, the institution. You need to have a relationship with God, and you have to follow God's guidelines, how to improve your life, how to live a good life, a godly life, in order for you to be happy, in order for you to address your problems, your challenges. That's what Islam is all about.
I mean, you're a nonprofit. I mean, you have to pay bills at the end of the day, too.
True.
I mean, so you have to have donations to a sense.
But there is a difference between people giving to, pay for the bills, and people paying so I can get a Rolls Royce or a private jet. Okay, so that's the difference. You hear about some pastors who feel like they must have that expensive vehicle or that expensive private jet or yacht, or how does that help the poor and the needy and the message? Jesus didn't ask for any of that. Muhammad didn't ask for that. And that's a big difference. Yes, people are not stingy. People will give to religious institutions that provide services and help people, but it's not giving for the few individuals to enrich themselves on the expense of others.
I don't think it's bad to have. I don't think God says we should be all poor and not have nothing. I just think some of these preachers, and I'm not being judgmental, but I think they're going to an extreme, like you say. Rolls Royce, what, $500,000? I think I could probably find a nice car for $50,000.
That's true, and many people in their congregation may not have a car at all, and the idea is Jesus and Muhammad, they offered the people what they had, you know,
Right.
rather than take what they had and left them without.
I definitely appreciate that. Thanks for your insight on this.
My pleasure.
If you like the video, comment, like, and subscribe. See you next time. Take care.